Hello YouTube! With the new Palworld Tides of Terraria update, we have a brand new legendary pal named Neptilius. Now, Neptilius is a water type, and they are really fast in the water, especially when you use one of their moves called Sentinel of the Great Sea. It gives you this giant speed boost in water, and you can go really fast. Now, since the update, I've wondered if I've maxed out its water speed, could it be faster than Jetragon? And so that's what I'm gonna accomplish, or attempt to accomplish, in this video. As you can tell, he's pretty fast, but is he faster than Jetragon? Make sure you watch this video to find out. Okay, now before we even start breeding for any of the new traits, which I'll tell you about later, we have to catch this guy first. So I do have 3 times spawns on, so that's why there's 3 in here. One thing to note, I really like their new UI. So when you have multiple pals, instead of them showing, like one on top of each other straight down and taking up your whole screen, it's a lot more optimized now, so it doesn't like block any of your view. Luckily, it didn't take me too long to catch them. All the Neptiliuses actually come with Lunker, which gives you a 20% boost to ice damage, water damage, and I think it's also a 15% boost to attack. Sorry, not attack, defense. So there's still one more thing we gotta do, and that's unlocking Neptilius' saddle and crafting it. Now, you can see the material requirements on the screen, but in case you can't read, it requires 30 leather, 50 dark fragments, 30 meteorite fragments, and 200 palladium fragments. Here's a closer look at Neptilius' 3D model. Top right corner you can see its partner skill, Sentinel of the Great Sea. While in team, it follows up your attacks with spear strikes. It can be ridden to travel quickly across water, and while mounted, it can leap high into the air over water. This is a good contender for level 4 watering as well. Instead of Phalaris Aqua or Germantide, you can now use Neptilius. And now finally, I'm going to touch upon the new passives implemented in this game. And those are Sleek Stroke, which gives you a 30% increase to movement speed and water. Ace Swimmer, which is a golden trait that gives you a 40% increase to movement speed on water. Swift, we've always had, gives a 30% increase to movement speed in general. And then lastly, we have King of the Waves, which gives a wholly 50% increase to movement speed on water. So in total, that's a 150% increase to movement speed. Like, that's crazy. Some of you might be wondering, why is this relevant? Like, if I want to move in the air, what about that? Well, for the new Tides of Terraria update, there's a lot more water features. You got fishing, you got salvaging, you got mini games. You generally go to the oil rig a lot more. And the biggest thing is that when you're moving in water, it doesn't take up stamina. Don't you ever get worried about stamina in the air? Right? Now you don't have to worry about that. Travel in water, there's no stamina bar. Now for those of you that aren't familiar with breeding, these traits, they're not in the regular gene pool of Neptiliuses, and because Neptiliuses can only breed with themselves, this will take a very long time. I feel like this could take hundreds, maybe even thousands of eggs before we get those mutated rainbow traits. The gold and silver traits I'm not worried about, but getting that King of the Waves and Swift when they're not in the gene pool, it's gonna take some time, guys. For your sanity and for mine, I have a breeding mod installed that will decrease the time for an egg to be produced. If you're interested in how to download it, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can make a tutorial. But for this first 10 eggs, maybe second 10 eggs, or yeah, I actually got one of the traits I needed. So I started out well. I feel like I won't be able to keep it up though, because my luck. We got Sleek Stroke within, I believe, the first 30 eggs. So usually I try to lock it immediately. I think I forgot in this case, so I'm gonna go back real quick to the PAL box, lock it down, rename it so that I know in the future that I shouldn't be condensing or discarding or butchering this guy. A couple of eggs later, I actually got another Neptilius with Sleek Stroke, which honestly, now that I have one, I don't really need another one. And it was the same gender, so kind of useless. But this one was a male. So quick tip, try to keep one of both gender if you can, because we do have the new PAL gender reversers now, but we haven't stockpiled yet. So if you get one of both gender, just keep it just in case for breeding and making it easier. Fun fact, there is now a PAL surgery table where you can put in your PAL and you can input a new, like, surgically input a new passive trait. Now the thing is, I'm not going to use this because none of the traits on there that you can input are the ones I need. And right now you can't input rainbow traits. So the highest you can go is gold. I feel like the most useful ones you can get are probably Artesian, Serenity, or Musclehead. But for a pure water movement speed pal, we're not going to need any of those. Okay, so a couple, like 200 eggs in, I finally got not only like Sleek Stroke by itself, which I've gotten many already, but a mutated rainbow trait. Sadly, it was not King of the Waves. It was Demon God, but Demon God's still useful to have in the gene pool because if I want to create a purely offensive Neptilius in the future, you know, I got a handy. And guess what? Within the next 30 eggs, I actually got Ace Swimmer. 40% increased movement speed and water. Bam. Second passive trait we needed. Secured. Bam. Another new feature Pocket Pair gave us is that when condensing, instead of manually selecting everything now, you can simply click the button F and it'll select the whole page of valid material. Like, look, isn't this so fast? F to select, R to deselect. Come on, it's been so long, bro. Can I get King of the... So it is a mutated diamond trait, but it's not the one we want. Swift or King of the Waves, please come home. 1 hour later... Please. Why is it vampiric, bro? Why is it not? You know, I was kind of losing hope at this point, but I had to keep in mind the end goal. We need a pal that's faster than Jetragon. Isn't that freaking amazing? I know I can do it, and I know we can do it, so I'm gonna do it. And the gods did indeed bless me up. If you didn't see there, real quickly I hovered over it. I finally got a mutated Swift. Now we have 3 out of the 4 passives we need. All we need now is the King of the Waves. I hope it doesn't take me another 500 eggs. I'm gonna be honest, it really did take another 500 eggs in case you didn't get the foreshadow there. But guess what? In the next 20 eggs, the final 20 eggs, I actually got another Swift and... wait for it. I got King of the Waves on my very last PAL egg. The very last one, which was actually an alpha. Finally, King of the Waves and Sleek Stroke. We have everything we need now to make the perfect Neptilius. Let's breed them together. So first, we're going to put Sleek Stroke together with Swift. King of the Waves, Sleek Stroke, Swift, Sleek Stroke. We're going to get these on one. And less than 30 eggs later, we got King of the Waves, Swift, and Sleek Stroke all on one. If only that infinite stamina was Ace Swimmer, our job would be done for breeding. But, you know, we're not that lucky, so let's go get that. This one took a bit longer, around 60 eggs, but all we need is one. We just need one, and I believe we did get our one. I just got my private jet ski. You know, I'm naming my Jetragon. It's currently named Private Jet, so this one's gonna be Private Jet Ski. Because, hey, I love to make them related in any way possible. So now we got Sleek Stroke, 30% increased movement speed. Ace Swimmer, 40% increased movement speed on water. Sleek Stroke as well in water. Swift, movement speed increased 30% in general. And then King of the Waves, 50% increased movement speed on water. We got the hard part done. Next step, condense. It's going to take like 5 seconds. As I said earlier, it's really easy to condense them now. Just press F and it selects the whole thing. So there we go. He's condensed. Level 5 partner skill. He's going to be able to jump a lot farther in the water and be a lot faster now. Step 3 is leveling this guy up to level 65, which is now the new level cap. I have a lot of XL XP scrolls I've grinded from my mogs. So as you guys watch his stats slowly increase while he hits level 65. Bam, there we go. That's honestly, I love leveling them up. It's really satisfying. And he does get this 200 damage skill. Thalassonic Laser. That's a really cool naming sense. And guys, the video's not done yet. We still gotta max out its PAL souls just because I want to max it out. I'm not gonna max out the IVs because those don't really matter. But honestly, neither does PAL souls because it's just movement speed. But for my completionist self, I'm gonna do it and I have the materials, so why not? And make sure you stay tuned because we're gonna do a speed test right after this with this new private jet ski and my own private jet, aka Jetragon. Look at his stats here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter for movement speed, but don't you love seeing big numbers get bigger? So I'm actually getting raided right now, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to showcase its attack moves real quick. I haven't exactly seen its moves before, but that looks really freaking cool. That laser thing, I don't know what its other stuff does. It's a wall of waves. Wow, that's really strong. I don't think, oh, and then it's like water cannons and bubbles. That's pretty cool. Here's kind of what it looks to ride the Neptilius. There's its bubbles. Sentinel of the Great Sea. At this point in time, I didn't know what it did, so I was just spamming it and it was doing nothing. Then we have this. I love these new animations. It looks like it does so much damage. It looks so OP and it just looks amazing. So that's a little thing. It flops. You know its animation to swim in water? You can do that animation on land as well. It's just really slow. It's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for the speed test between Neptilius with the full movement speed build and Jetragon with a full movement speed build. Now for reference, I'm going to start out at this rock. And we're going to try to get to the level 60 oil rig from here. So I'm at the tip of the thing, of this little rock. You can't really tell here, but just trust me, I'm at the tip. I'm going to use this little salvage pile, point my crosshair over it, and that's going to be my point of reference. By the way, I'm not using the Sentinel of the Great Sea at all. I'm simply using just its regular water movement speed, and its speed doesn't change in the air when you click jump, so that doesn't really make a difference. And we're here. Okay, how long was that? I don't know. I'll put a timer on screen just to test it out. It's time for Jetragon now. I'm using the new cyber skin that we got, and I'm gonna point at the salvage little thing with my crosshair. It's kind of blocked by the wing, but that's what we're using. And we go. Let's go. Full speed mode. Make sure you press shift. We're in the air right now. It does feel a bit slower than Neptilius, so I have a feeling that at least in water Neptilius is better. And as you can see, in the air requires stamina, and you're in the anti-air zone as well. So at least for the oil rig, you know for sure water PAL is better. No stamina, and you won't get targeted by the giant lasers. Final test we're doing is using the Sentinel of the Great Sea along with our regular movement speed to see how fast we can actually go. So the Jetragon and the first Neptilius run without using the moves was actually pretty close, within 1 second of each other. I went back and checked, but holy shit, it's only 10 seconds and we're basically there already. Stop. What was that, like 14 seconds? God damn. Okay, so I went back and checked. So Neptilius normal speed around 21 seconds, Jetragon normal speed around 20 seconds, and finally Neptilius with Sentinel of the Great Sea, that was like 14 seconds. And just, it feels funner. Is that even a word? It just feels more fun to use Neptilius in the water. So I'm gonna let you guys know Neptilius is officially faster than Jetragon in the water though. If you're using it to fly over, say, Fabric Island, I'd still say use Jetragon. Make sure you have all the lasers dismantled though. But otherwise, if you're in the sea, if you're doing fishing, salvaging, if you're traveling to the oil rig, this guy is your best bets. Okay? Jetragon skills, by the way, were Legend, Runner, Swift, and I did have Divine Dragon instead of Nimble, but however, Nimble wouldn't have made a 6-second difference in this case. So max movement speed wise, Neptilius is the fastest rideable PAL in the game. But yeah, that's mostly it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to support me as a small creator and get me to 2K subs, make sure to hit that subscribe button. like the video if you enjoyed, and have a great day, guys.